In 2025, the world reached a moment so extreme, so shocking, that even economists admitted, we never thought it would get this far. Today, the richest 1% now control more wealth than 99% of the entire human population combined. But the real question is not how much they have. The real question is, how did they manage to gain control over everything, while the rest of the world barely noticed? This is not just a story about money. This is a story about power, influence, and the systems built to keep the top at the top. Let's start from the beginning, the shift that no one saw coming. Over the last decade, the rules of money changed, not through democracy, not through public vote, but quietly, through technology, markets, and policies written behind closed doors. The ultra-rich invested in AI, automation, robotics, data control, and digital finance, long before the world even understood what these technologies really meant. While average workers were trying to keep up with rising rent and inflation, the 1% were buying the future. Every AI company, every data giant, every robotics manufacturer slowly moved into their hands. By 2025, they didn't just own wealth. They owned the systems that create wealth. The 1% advantage. The richest 1% play by different rules. Ordinary people earn money with time, but the ultra-rich earn money with assets. They own corporations, real estate at global scale, energy companies, media outlets, banks, tech platforms, data networks, shipping, food supply, transport, logistics. Their wealth doesn't sleep. It grows even when they don't touch it. And while 99% of the world works for money, money works for the 1%. A hidden wealth transfer. In 2025, global inflation didn't harm the rich. It benefited them. While prices went up, the rich raised rent, increased product prices, acquired failing businesses, bought land, homes, and companies at discounts. Inflation was a crisis for the world, but a goldmine for the elite. The digital wealth empire, the most powerful shift of all, happened quietly. Data became the new gold. And who owns the largest data centers? Who owns AI companies? Who controls online transactions? Who funds the biggest social media platforms? The same 1%. In 2025, AI doesn't just assist them, it protects their wealth, multiplies it, and predicts economies before they collapse. It's like owning a crystal ball that never lies. The power beyond wealth. When you control money, you control politics, media, public opinion, markets, technology, progress, even the future of work. This is why the top 1% today are not just rich. They are untouchable. Their influence stretches from Wall Street to Silicon Valley, from Dubai to Singapore, from Zurich to London. They don't just live above the system. They are the system. So how did the 1% come to control 99% of global wealth in 2025? Not by luck, not by accident, but by understanding one truth, long before the rest of the world realized it. The future belongs to those who build it, not to those who wait for it. The invisible systems of control. In 2025, the real power of the 1% doesn't lie in the money they already have. It lies in the systems they control. Because wealth is not just currency. Wealth is influence. Wealth is information. Wealth is access. And access is the one thing the remaining 99% never get. Early access to opportunities. While the world sees opportunities when they finally reach the public, the 1% sees them years earlier, before a company becomes famous, before a new technology reaches the news, before an investment trend becomes viral. The top 1% already bought it, already tested it, already profited from it. They sit inside private investor circles, closed-door meetings, and early release financial briefings. By the time the 99% see something on social media, the 1% has already made their exit, controlling the flow of information. In 2025, information is more valuable than gold, and the people who control information control wealth. The 1% owns major media companies, big data firms, tech giants, AI analysis tools, Exclusive private intelligence networks. They don't guess. They don't hope. They know. They know where markets are heading. They know which industries will explode. They know when to buy and exactly when to sell. The 99% reacts. The 1% anticipates. Leveraging technology, artificial intelligence has become the new financial engine. But not all AI is equal. The average person uses AI for everyday tasks, while the 1% uses advanced AI models to forecast markets, analyze global trends, predict currency movements, and detect economic shifts before governments even announce them. Imagine having a machine that tells you what to invest in, when to invest, and when to pull out. This is the secret advantage of the ultra-rich. A system so powerful, the rest of the world doesn't even know it exists. Ownership, not income. While the 99% works for money, the 1% makes money work for them. They don't earn salaries. They own assets. In 2025, assets are the real kings. Real estate stocks, company patents, AI technologies, digital platforms, data centers, renewable energy farms, supply chains, mining rights, and of course, land. Every time the world spends, the 1% earns. Every subscription, every internet click, every drop of fuel feeds the wealth system the elite built decades ago. The global web of control. The wealthy no longer belong to a country. They belong to a network. A hidden financial ecosystem connecting Dubai, Singapore, New York, Switzerland, and London. Their money moves faster than borders, taxes, or rules. They can shift billions across continents with a single signature, while an average worker waits 30 days for a paycheck. This global web ensures one thing: the rich stay rich, the powerful stay powerful, and the system stays unbroken. Because the truth is simple: the 1% doesn't just control money, they control the world. The rest live in the rules, the opportunities, the information, everything. And until the 99% understands how the system truly works, nothing will ever change. The locked doors of power. In every era, there are doors the public never sees. Doors that never open for the 99%, but remain permanently unlocked for the 1%. In 2025, those doors have become almost impossible to reach, because they're not made of steel or gold. They're made of systems, layers of privilege, technology, and access that the rest of the world can't even touch. The gatekeepers. The world believes money controls everything, but the truth is, gatekeepers control everything. The 1% uses a powerful system of gatekeepers, bankers, lobbyists, private advisors, law firms, investment councils, global wealth managers, policy influencers, and exclusive financial planners. They create the rules, and they are the only ones who know how to play the game. Governments change, leaders change, but gatekeepers never change. They stay in the shadows, protecting their clients, expanding their networks, and guarding the wealth ecosystem, buying time, power, and silence. The thing the 1% buys the most is not luxury, it's time. While the world spends hours working, searching, waiting, the wealthy buy back every second. They have people doing everything for them: legal work, financial planning, tax optimization, business management, global travel logistics, market research, media protection. This allows one person to control more wealth than entire cities. Because the rich don't waste life reacting, they spend life expanding. The second thing they buy is power. Seats on influential boards, backstage access to policymakers, approval inside economic institutions, early invitations to global summits, gateways the public never knew existed. And the third thing they buy is silence. The silence of those who know too much, and the silence of a system built to protect them. When money becomes influence, in 2025, money is not the final goal. Influence is. With influence, they can shape markets, currencies, industries, actions, lost trade routes, and even public opinion. When the 1% funds a technology, the world adopts it. When they shift money into a market, the market rises. When they pull their money out, the market crashes. Entire nations can fall into crisis from decisions made inside a private meeting room, thousands of miles away. This is the hidden architecture of dominance, the influence economy, the system that protects itself. Here's the hardest truth of all. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. Designed to protect the 1%. Designed to reward the powerful. Designed to keep the 99% chasing, hoping, reacting, while the wealthy stay steps ahead. Every rule has a loophole. Every loophole has a beneficiary, and the beneficiary is almost always the elite. The 1% doesn't fear losing money, because the system doesn't allow them to lose. They fear only one thing: the day the 99% finally understands the truth. So the question is not, how do they control so much wealth? The real question is, what will the world look like if the 99% never learns to escape the system? Because until the day the majority begins building assets, learning financial intelligence, understanding technology, and thinking like owners instead of workers, the 1% will continue to control everything. Not because they are smarter, but because they are prepared. If you like this video, then don't just watch wealth, learn it, feel it, and rise with it. Subscribe for the next chapter.